Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle. And today we're talking about how Biden's State of the Union address went, in my opinion, my reaction to it. So before we start, I just want to say that this video is going to be a little bit later than usual because I didn't expect. I forgot the State of the Union was yesterday, so I didn't. I wasn't going to watch it anyway, mainly because I knew what Biden was going to talk about. He was probably going to hate on Republicans and divide the country, but also talk about his key issues. And from how it sounded, from how I heard it went, he did sound like he was dividing everything, but he also proposed a bunch of stuff. But also Republicans weren't really supportive of anything he was talking about. Now there was some things he talked about that were good things from what I heard on like news outlets and stuff. So he did get a favorable rating in a poll uh, for his State of the Union, which is a good thing for him. But for me personally, I didn't care to watch it. Honestly, from in my opinion, if you're a voter, you're not going to be voting on a State of the Union. Like if you're doing a State of the Union and you're like a voter, independent voter, you're undecided. I don't think a State of the Union should really determine like who you should be voting for in the general election. Like a lot of people on Twitter for this actually were like talking about how Trump is going down now. He's not going to win now because of Biden winning the State of the Union address. But at the same time, in my opinion, even if it was like a candidate that was conservative, if it's anyone, you vote with your wallet. You don't vote on someone's word. That's how I think of it. Like if something's hurting me personally, financially, or just like me personally because of like the current administration, I want them out. I want them out because I want my wallet better. I want to save money. Has been having record inflation as of late. Obviously, there's a reason why this shouldn't affect Trump possibly winning. Now in the polling, I think he'll get like Biden will get a spike. But anyway, I'll get into that afterwards. Let me do this first. So here is an article right here. So 7 takeaways from Biden's fiery State of the Union. So let's go to each one. I'm not going to read the entire article. I'm just going to go to each takeaway. So Biden seemed eager to tangle with Republicans, just like I said. Biden wanted to tangle with Republicans, and in my opinion, if Biden really wants to win, he should have done what he did even though he wasn't at the State of the Union last time. Well, I'm talking. Well, no, wait, no, what I mean is the first State of the Union. When he did his first State of the Union, I believe it's the first one he did. When he did this first one, he wanted to talk about unity and everything like that. And honestly, that's what kind of won him the election in 2020. But now he's starting to go the opposite direction and tangle with Republicans, hate on Republicans. Now, all over Twitter, everyone was excited about that. But that's Twitter. This isn't like the American people. Honestly, if I was an American, like if I was like not an American, but like a independent or like someone that is undecided, I want the person that I want to be like talking to the American people, not hating on like a certain party. Now, it's funny because Trump does that, but at the same time, both of these people do. Obviously, now because Biden and Trump both do it, and the reason I support Trump is because of his policy. Um, but Biden and Trump both do it now. So I mean, at this point, Biden doesn't even show he's different anyway. So in like a Democrat sort of take, uh, if I was a Democrat and if I was unbiased, obviously, I would want the candidate that is the most careful with Americans. Like they care about me. Like that president actually cares about me. So far, Biden hasn't been seeming like that. He seems like he just wants to hate on Republicans so far, and all that kind of stuff. And okay, the next takeaway: Biden touts his own agenda with little push for bipartisanship. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, from what I heard, he didn't talk about bipartisanship, and he kind of touted his own agenda in his speech and stuff. And then yeah, Ukraine is a top priority. Yeah, I found out he talked about that. So he talked about that. He said that was a top priority. That was one of the top issues he said from the State of the Union. And honestly, in my opinion, that's probably the one thing you shouldn't be talking about if you want to sway American voters. Now, this speech did get a favorable rating, but at the same time, almost all State of the Unions usually get a favorable rating. It's more or less the issues he's talking about. The Ukraine issue isn't a good thing. You shouldn't have that as a top priority. Americans don't want to be spending a lot of money on Ukraine right now. That's not an issue with us. Ukraine isn't our ally. And then Biden tries to walk the line on Israel and Gaza. Yeah, I heard about how he didn't want to specifically say which one he supports because he's trying to win back that support with people from, I think, people from Michigan that kind of support the Palestinians. So he didn't talk about supporting the Palestinians. Obviously, if he did, he'd probably get more support, but also get backlash from people that like Israel. So he kind of walked the line on that. So that was actually technically a good thing he did. And also Gaza. That I think he was talking about something about how he's bringing soldiers to Gaza, I believe. And then reproductive rights is still a top issue. He was talking about reproductive rights. He was saying I don't know what he specifically said, but I know he was talking about reproductive rights in his speech. And for Democrats, that's a top issue, yes. And also, technically, the majority of voters do support reproductive rights in some form, but only like I think it's 52% of Americans do, so it's very tight in general. But at the same time, I don't think that should be a top issue. That should be an issue you support, but there should be other issues that you're supporting right now, like lowering inflation, um, having a better economy, like all that, like the stuff that really matters to Americans' pockets, basically. The next one, Biden mixes it up with Republicans on immigration. Yeah, he was talking about how he was getting it done with immigration and Republicans didn't want to get it done. And me personally, I think both are to blame for that. Republicans don't want to get it done because I believe they want Trump in office again to do it, and they don't want Biden to actually get it done because Trump could lose the election. But at the same time, Biden with those bills, when they're immigration bills, aren't as great as Republicans' bills. Republican bills want like really, really, really strict immigration policy, but Biden wants to add little details in there that just aren't right. And he wants to make it bipartisan, but honestly, in my opinion, immigration isn't a bipartisan issue at all, especially nowadays. And that is all of them from the takeaways on ABC. And honestly, this was the one that was actually the most unbiased I could find. Most of them were talking about how great his speech was and stuff. Luckily, I found one from ABC, which is ABC is a great source if you guys want to check them out. ABC, I love ABC News. Then let's check this. So this was what I was talking about earlier. So more than 6 in 10 State of the Union viewers had a positive reaction to President Biden's speech. And below here it talks about what things they supported. So 62% to 38% that policies Biden proposed will move the U.S. in the right direction. Some people said these are proposed. Remember that these are proposed issues he's proposing. These people that he's looking to right now don't know if they can trust him or not. He's proposing these things, and the majority of the things he has proposed, not all of it, definitely not all of it, but some of the stuff he proposed were really great things. Even I supported. But at the same time, like for me, like I'm a conservative, but do I trust Biden? Look at the last 4 years. Do I trust him? No, I don't, because of the last 4 years. That's how I think the normal American voter is going to be. They're going to look at Biden's last 4 years and be like, what did he do to help me? That's what they're going to think of. And then it talked about how 28% that they have some confidence and 41% that they have no real confidence in the ability to carry out duties as president. So people are still thinking he's incompetent, but less incompetent from how he spoke. A lot of Democrats are bringing it up like how he did amazing with his speech, which he did good with his speech, but think about it. Not a lot of people think about this. So if Joe Biden has dementia, think about it like this. I knew someone that had dementia, and they have good days and they have bad days. People don't look at it like that. They think, oh, dementia, they have dementia. They're not going to speak good ever. No, they have good days and bad days. That's just how it works with dementia. If Joe Biden actually has dementia, which I'm not speculating he does, but if he does have dementia, with most of the time he acts like he has dementia, then he's not going to have good days. But then there's those rare days, which surprisingly was on the State of the Union, that he actually seemed like like the original Joe Biden. the Joe Biden that used to be in Congress. I remember the Joe Biden that used to be in Congress, even though it was like when I was really really young. I kind of remember how Joe Biden acted, and honestly, in my opinion, that was a great Joe Biden. If that Joe Biden ran for president, that guy could have even got my vote. But the Joe Biden nowadays is completely the opposite for how he is, and he definitely acts like he has dementia. And almost half of Americans watched the address said that Biden's immigration policies would move it in the right directions, up to from 42% of the speech survey before. Which okay. So Democrats 71 to 83, and then Independents from 42 to 56. So I think the reason that is because he was touting Republicans' efforts, which both are to blame in my opinion. But technically, the immigration policy he put forward is something Trump would put forward. So it makes sense, but at the same time, I don't think people believe him. Yeah, that's basically most of what was told. Oh yeah, wait, hold on, let me read this one. 49% who tuned in proposed levels of Ukraine for are about right. 34% saying Biden's proposed level of Ukraine is too much. 16% said it's not enough. And then 49% said that's about right. So there's definitely a mixture. There's not really a majority. There's 49%, 34, and 16. So I think Ukraine's the biggest issue right now. Not a lot of Americans support it. Some Americans support it. It's really an issue that is really not a good thing. Honestly, Joe Biden, what he should be doing right now is he shouldn't be giving Ukraine anything else. If he doesn't give Ukraine anything else, he could win more supporters. Just like if he, even though I don't want him to, but if he supported Palestine and Israel both equally, he would win more voters. But that's just for a Joe Biden voter. For me, I mean, he can do what he wants. He's not going to win the election from how he's going right now. Yeah, okay, let's go to the next thing. So I wanted to show this. So Trump is still leading Biden in the poll. Obviously, there's no polling from when the State of the Union happened, but I want to speculate. So since Trump has 1.8, what I think is going to happen is since the State of the Union happened, in a couple weeks, I believe Trump will go down a little bit. I think he'll have like a tick down to maybe like 1.3 or 1.5, and then he'll start going back up. I don't think Joe Biden's going to switch from going here to past Trump. That's just not going to happen after a State of the Union. And even if it did, it wouldn't last long. He would go back under right after, because people would forget the State of the Union. Not a lot of people realize that the State of the Union isn't what people look forward to. People are looking forward to the issues they want, like the issues they're talking about, stuff like that. Like, it has Joe Biden improved these last 4 years, like stuff like that. Like, a lot of people look towards that. And then the majority of Americans, they vote with their wallet. That's just a fact. And I'm not even like hating on Joe Biden, but they vote with their wallet. That's just how it works. Not a lot of Americans vote against the president. They just are like, well, if it's hurting me, I don't want them. Even if I support them, I just don't want them. That's how I see it. And in my opinion, Joe Biden's been hurting my wallet. So I mean, and Democrats always have to pull it back and say, oh, well, Trump's the one that did that in the long run because of, but it's been 4 years. Here's the thing. It's been 4 years. I could see you at least saying that for the first year, maybe a year and a half in his presidency, but it's been 4 years. And I understand he has had a gridlocked Senate and House, but at the same time, he is supposed to get out people to vote, to get them changed in the Senate and the House. In the House, Republicans won it, barely. In the Senate, the Democrats have it now. But neither one is completely like the other. So he's been gridlocked, obviously, but that's his own fault. It's no one else's but his own. And his own party's incompetence. So, I mean, I just don't see a reason you can defend Joe Biden on the economy or anything like that. And I just wanted to bring that up. I've been doing this video for really long. I've just been really wanting to talk about this because it's really been eating at me. Because not really in the fact that I think Trump's going to lose. It's more like I don't understand certain people because it doesn't make any sense that they think Biden has done so great. And it really doesn't make sense to me. Like, I have a friend personally. Like, I don't want to go too sidetracked because this is obviously, I don't want to make it a long video. But I have a friend that personally used to support Trump, doesn't support Trump anymore. But He's turned around the corner. He voted for Joe Biden, by the way. He turned around the corner, decided that, well, Joe Biden's been really like he's been, even though I live in West Virginia, this is West Virginia obviously, but this is a rare breed where you find someone that actually voted for Joe Biden, and he decided that he wants to vote for Trump now because he hasn't liked the last 4 years of Biden. He said he liked how he handled COVID, but he didn't like anything else after that. He said it's just been more like paying bills more bills all the time, having to deal with like more prices, gas prices for sure. And he also said there was um, food getting smaller, but the prices getting bigger. I've seen that as well. And people blame Trump, but at the same time, it's been 4 years. I just want to mention that, like, it's been 4 years. Like, there's no reason you can just defend that. That's all I gotta say. There's just no reason you can defend that. But I don't want to go too long. It's already been like 15 minutes, so I just want to say that his State of the Union, in my opinion, it was good. It was like I don't know, like a C or C plus, because I don't trust Biden. If Biden was a trustworthy person and actually did what he said he was going to do, like he said in the beginning of his presidency, then I would trust him more. But he's just not a trustworthy guy. So, I mean, I would just say that C plus, in my opinion, for his State of the Union. Usually presidents do a good State of the Union, but he also, I mean, honestly, I could even say C or D because he also hated on Republicans. If he didn't hate on Republicans and just talked to his base, it would be different. I mean, obviously Trump used to hate on Democrats as well, but at the same time, and in a State of the Union, you're supposed to talk to the American people. That's just how I see it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I might have a video tomorrow, just depends on if anything comes up. I wasn't gonna make a video today, but I just realized that the State of the Union was yesterday, and I wanted to recap on it. I personally didn't watch it myself because I never saw a reason to, because personally, like, I just don't trust Joe Biden, honestly. It's just not really, like, important to me. And he was hating on Republicans, so I would have turned it off anyway because that's just rude. Even sometimes with Trump, he wouldn't even hate on the Democrats during the State of the Union. So it's just irritating that he thinks that's going to win him an election. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I could have a video out tomorrow. It just really depends. But also, I wanted to mention that I will be doing my Senate and presidential map predictions on the 15th every month. I'm going to switch it around one more time. I'm not going to switch it around anymore after that. I just want it to be the 15th because it's kind of the middle of the month, and it just makes more sense, so I don't have to make it too close to when I did it last time. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know in the comments how you felt about the State of the Union. I thought from how it sounded and what I've seen, it seemed like it was okay, but it just didn't seem like it was, like, amazing. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.